right.
All right, it's really good to get spring game done or spring scrimmage, whatever you want to call it. We got some good reps today, and good things, bad things, as there are in every situation, especially when you're playing yourself. But some good things for us to learn from in every phase except special teams, because we really didn't do the special teams today. But offensive and defense, there'll be a lot of things we can learn from today. That we'll go back and we'll teach a lot of guys. We had to run the scrimmage or game the way we ran it because of some injuries at certain positions, and we weren't deep enough to be able to split into really two teams and play a true game. So that's why we did it the way we did it. We still thought we got a lot out of it.
What did you like?
I thought when you create 4 turnovers on defense, I like that. We had 4 picks. But then I don't like it on the other side. So there were some good things. I thought some of the young guys, there were some young guys that got an opportunity to get out there in front of a crowd for the first time and get some butterflies out of their stomachs and not really do as well as they had been, and they'll learn from that experience. So the next time they go out there, if it's on September 3rd, they'll feel a little bit better.
What are the things you think you gained through the spring defensively as far as building off of what you guys did last year?
Yeah, well, for one thing, if you go all the way back to the spring of last year, we put in nothing but base and didn't do anything else, and that's all they did for 15 days. This year, because of where we left off, these guys were able to expand everything and get into 7-man fronts, 8-man fronts, different blitz packages, a lot of things that we weren't able to do with last year's team. So we were just able to, elevate it to another level for those guys as far as what was put in. And then they come out of the spring with a better understanding of all of it.
Jonathan Smith doesn't look like an 18-year-old kid. Should be in high school. Has he impressed you with what he's shown you thus far?
Yeah, he really has. I mean, he's come in here and handled everything, because you think about it, he came in January, and we've put more in this year defensively than we did last spring. So, I mean, he was starting from scratch, and he really did a nice job. He studies it, he learned it, and he's made plays for us throughout the spring, and he's gotten a lot of reps.
Some of the guys have talked about Miles Dorn as well, and he had a few plays out there today. How's he coming on?
Yeah, I think Miles Dorn, really, I'm going to tell you that Miles Dorn, Miles Wolford, all those guys that have come in early, those 8 guys, I think it was 8, that came in, they have all, that's one thing about this spring, they were able to get a lot of reps. There was not a position where they didn't get a lot of reps. Probably Logan Bird at the quarterback position had the fewest of all of them, but the rest of them, they were in extensive playing time and meaningful playing time in all the scrimmages and in all the practices. So Miles Dorn, Miles Wolford, Jonathan Smith, they got a lot of reps over there. And it was really, those were guys that were, it was impressive. It was impressive to see what they were able to handle. You could tell when they started getting into an overload mentally and the smoke was coming out their ears. They're making more mistakes in practice, and then you pull back a little bit and let them relax, and then they just did a nice job this spring.
How would you evaluate how Mitch did?
I thought he had a pretty good command of the offense. I think he threw. We had one pick there on the sideline. Des made a great play on that ball. It was a well-thrown ball, but he didn't miss many throws. I thought he did a good job.
Yes, I think offensively I think it was 3 touchdown drives total. Overall, offensive execution, how do you think you guys did?
Just from standing back there, to me, I'm mad if we don't score every drive. So, but on the other side of it, there were some really good things. I don't want to sit here and say one side was better than the other. I think that both sides benefited from what we did today. That's a tough thing about a spring game. I thought there were good things in some situations. I thought there were bad things on both sides of the ball. So we know as a team we've got a lot to work on, and we're gonna be a lot better because of what we did today. We're gonna be a lot better because of what we did this spring, and we really spent a lot of time with a lot of guys getting a lot of reps. Because we know from experience that those guys that are 2s and 3s are going to play for you at some time in the fall, and you're going to need them to be able to be successful.
Was there a concern you've had in the spring that was reaffirmed today? And if so, what was that? What is that?
Concern, I mean, you know, you guys know me, I got a lot of concerns. I mean, I don't think that we solved any problem that we had this spring. I mean, I think, you know, we've still are, you know, we still got a long way to go. I think, but I'm happy with the things that we've done so that we can learn from them. I mean, there were some series out there that weren't good. There were some series that were really good. I mean, that's the thing about spring, when you're going against yourself, and you're not, you know, the objective is not really to see who can win each day. I mean, we're competing, but it's not about the winning. It's about, you know, making sure we install the things that we need to install, make sure our guys really understand it well when we finish spring. And I think our guys have a pretty good understanding. Now, we got to go back and we've got to really get detailed with everybody and to become a better football team.
Linebackers an area that you focus on with Schottenberg and Shackley. What did you see out of those guys? Any guys in particular that stood out in your eyes today?
Well, you know, I thought Jonathan Smith made some plays today. I thought Casey Collins made some plays today. Cole Holcomb made some plays today. You know, J.B. Copeland wasn't out there today. You know, he wasn't able to go. Who else was out there? Hunter Crawford. Who else am I forgetting? Bonilla. Yeah, Bonilla. And I said Collins. So, you know, I mean, they all made some plays today, but then they made mistakes also. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. I don't think, you know, I don't think we've arrived anywhere. I mean, we still got a long way to go, and we understand that. You know, and our guys understand it. So that's probably what's most important.
Are you experimenting with John Fronto there at right guard, or?
We were. Yeah, so we you know, earlier in the week we decided, hey, let's throw him inside and see what he can do. You know, John, you know, right now we feel comfortable he could jump out and tackle. He knows it really well, so it was like, all right, let's get him as many reps as the guard also and see what he can do there and see where, you know, because we're going to get our best five on the field. And if he can help us at the guard and he's one of those best five, then that's where he'll play.
RJ Prince got some work with the ones at right tackle, and John Heck was with the twos. What's that situation shaping up like right now?
I mean, they're competing. I mean, it's like I tell you guys all the time, we're competing at every position, and you know, even though Heck's been the starter there, I mean, Prince is pushing him, and so I mean, the way he's been practicing, it was you know, he deserved reps with the ones, and so we were going to get him reps with the ones. We're going to do. We say we're going to compete, we're going to compete, and we're going to allow him to compete.
So RJ's making quite a bit of progress.
I think he's made, yeah, I think he's made a lot of progress.
Do you think the offensive line is going to be better than last year? You're losing one guy, but there's tons of experience. Is that an area you feel really good about heading out of this one?
I don't know. I hope we are. I hope we're better. I really hope there's not a position on the field that we're not better at. I really do. I mean, you know, I hope offensively we're better. I hope defensively we're better, and I hope in all special teams units we're better. I really do believe that we can be that way. You know, I mean, and that's the thing is we went back and looked at everything that we did. I mean, it was letting our guys let them see. You know, they can see it on film. Wow, we really can be better. I mean, we haven't reached anything. I mean, we really can be a lot better. And so there was a lot of focus on just fundamentals and techniques that we need in all of these phases that we need to master so that we can be really good football players. And then you put that together, it's still going to boil down, guys, to what kind of leadership we end up with, what kind of chemistry, what kind of bond this football team has, you know, what kind of locker room we have. All that's going to make the difference in our success.
When you saw as much success with those things all being right last year as you did, is it, I don't want to say worrisome, but is it a little bit reserved to not be able to see that with the injuries that you have, particularly with some of the veterans right now who didn't play today?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's difficult. You know, anytime you're trying to build chemistry and all those things, I mean, when guys aren't out there, it makes it tougher. But you don't really have a choice. You know, they can't go. So the next guy, you know, we have to have that mentality. The next guy steps up, and we still have to build that chemistry and that bond because, I mean, like I said earlier, there's going to be guys that are going to play for us that we're not expecting to play. I mean, they're going to play for us. I mean, something's going to happen. Somebody's going to have to go. It happens every year. And so everything that we do this spring just pays off. Everything that we'll do in camp for that and making sure those guys get a bunch of reps pays off. So you have an established player like, say, Bug Howard, who's got plenty of reps, and we know what kind of player he is. He wasn't able to go today. We're okay. I mean, we know where Bug is. He had a really good spring, made a lot of plays for us, and so he doesn't go today, but it gives Pro and other guys opportunities to jump out there and see what they can do. So it'll be good for us.
Larry, you mentioned hoping you can be better at every position. A lot of people think Mitch could be as hard as that is to imagine. Can you be better at quarterback?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I hope we can be better at quarterback, or we can be better at the right guard. Every senior left, I mean, I hope we can be better than him. I really do. That's the goal. I mean, that's the goal. I mean, so, yeah, we had some guys that were very, very productive last year. And so, but these guys are stepping into those roles, know that, hey, this is my job. My job is to be better than we were last year at this position. And so, yeah, now we have a ways to go. Again, we got a long way to go. So, but yeah, I think it can happen.
Larry, this is first look we really got into your scoring system for scrimmages.
Did y'all like that?
Yeah, we did, yeah. It was very easy to understand.
So we got that from the Seahawks a couple years ago. So that's where we got the system. I mean, they've always done a deal where so we use that actually in every practice. So anytime the offense and the defense are going against each other in any phase of practice, we use that scoring system to create competition again, just so they know what they're doing. So what was it, 70 to 74?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the score that you're used to, but that way, within the practice, your defense has an opportunity to see how they're performing. And it's not just did we keep them from scoring touchdowns. So I mean, it's really not a difficult deal. I mean, it's first and second downs. If the offense gets more than 4 yards, they get a point. If the defense holds them to less than 4 yards on first and second down, they get a point. Turnovers are 3 points for the defense. Touchdowns, 3 points for the offense. Third downs, if it's third and short, and the offense converts, they get 1. If the defense stops them, the defense gets 2, because it's tougher on short yards. Third mediums, it's swapped, 1 and 1. Third long, the offense converts, they would get 2, and then the defense would get 1 if they hold them on third long.
I made a joke that special teams don't get any points.
Yeah, not in this deal. Special teams
For you,
got
that
no
feels a
the
little-
field goals, none of that, they got nothing.
52-yard are not worth anything.
Yeah, no, not today it wasn't.
So how did you get that from the Seahawks? Like, what were your circumstances?
Well, we knew about it, and Cap was out there at one point visiting, and knew one of the coaches on staff, and he gave it to him. So, you talk to people and look for things. I mean, we wanted to, we've always had competition every day in practice, but we wanted to figure out a way so our guys could understand whether they were having success. And so that, we knew, so we just started talking to people on different programs, and we knew the Seahawks had one, so we called out there and Cap got it.
In regards to the defense, I know the NCAA limits what you can require, but what are your expectations as to, like, having some of the guys who've been through the defense for a year now, sort of passing that knowledge on to the younger guys who maybe don't quite get it yet?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we stay within what the NCAA asks you to do, but our guys also, they do a lot on their own. I mean, this is their passion. So they want to master their craft. They spend time on it. So yes, our older guys do teach the younger guys. Those guys, I mean, just because spring's over, it doesn't mean that those guys, you'll see them in there, they'll be in there in the film room tomorrow watching. They'll be watching cut-ups. They'll be watching install tapes. They're studying the game so that they can be better. And, and as we go into the summer, even though they're working with their strength coaches all summer, conditioning and all that, they'll run practices. There'll be a couple days a week that they'll run a practice over on the practice field without any coaches there, as if there were coaches there. I mean, it's the same way we run a practice, so they just run the same practice. And the seniors do it, and they do a great job with it.
Anybody else? All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all.
We'll have players.